Call the City Apache Junction Water District meeting to order. Roll call.
Chairperson Wilson.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Schroeder.
Here.
Board Member Cross.
Here.
Board Member Heck.
Yes, here.
Board Member Johnson.
Here.
Board Member Nesser.
Present.
And Board Member Soller is not here yet.
Is AWOL. Okay. Approval of the minutes for March 21st,
So moved,
2023. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Board Member Heck.
Yes.
Board Member Cross.
Yes.
Vice Chair Schroeder.
Yes.
Board Member Nesser.
Yes.
Board Member Johnson.
Yes.
Chairman Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excuse me. Presentation and discussion of approval of purchase agreement, Garney Companies, for the purchase of 5,200 linear feet of 16-inch bi-directional transmission line in the amount of over almost $730-some thousand.
Chairman
Yes.
Wilson, members of the board. A little bit about the project. We are running a 16-inch pipeline between our surface water treatment plant and the sewer plant. So initially, this is going to serve a purpose of taking our CAP water that we're not using for potable water and deliver it to the sewer plant. They have a groundwater storage facility, underground storage facility at their site. So we could recharge the water there rather than sending it to a groundwater savings facility like Roosevelt Irrigation District or SRP. That's not in an area of influence where we'd be pumping that water back out of the ground. So we're working with the sewer district to move this water to that location so we can recharge it out in Apache Junction. And as time grows and we need that water, we'll use it at our plant as the plant grows, and then we'll turn around and use that effluent that they have over there possibly for direct potable reuse in the future. So we're planning it to move both directions. That's why I have bi-directional on here. But this starts that process of creating that. If you guys noticed, Phoenix just approved their advanced water treatment facility in downtown Phoenix, and that's direct potable reuse. So that's what they're talking about when they use advanced water treatment facility. So we're trying to keep up. We're doing our part, but we have some other things that we can move water and recharge it in the meantime until we get to those, until we need that additional water supplies. And this is just to let you know, this is just to buy the pipe currently. This is not the installation cost. The installation cost will come next fiscal year.
Okay. Do I have any questions from the board on this? Okay, do I have a motion to approval?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I move that the purchase agreement between Water Utilities Community Facilities District and Garney Companies Incorporated for the purchase of 5,200 linear feet of a 16-inch bi-directional transmission main using the cooperative use portion of the City of El Mirage job order contract for Water and Wastewater Projects, PW 19-JOCO2, for a total not to exceed $733,174.07 be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Board Member Cross.
Yes.
Board Member Heck.
Yes.
Board Member Johnson.
Yes.
Vice Chair Schroeder.
Yes.
Board Member Nesser.
Yes.
Chairman Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, presentation, discussion, agreement for cost share, or share costs for technical review of the Salt River Project, Central Arizona Project Interconnect facilities.
Yes.
Sure, again.
So this is another project we discussed probably about 2 months ago. I showed you guys a video here. We're slowly moving forward with that project. So kind of want to give you an update. Again, this is a picture. As you can see, CAP canals to the top of the frame here, and then we have an interconnect with SRP that flows gravity flow down to it, so we can move water in one direction currently. As part of that video, we were showing we'd like to move water from SRP to CAP at some day, especially if we get new Verde River supplies that we're working with SRP on also. So they're going to do a technical study on the alignment and how we'd actually do that if we have to bore through the mountain, and what size pipe and what size pumping facility that would take. So that project's roughly $750,000. Here's the other cities that are going to be part of that project. Obviously, CAP and SRP are going to be the big funders in this project. because they're going to use the most of that water supply to move it both directions. Our portion for the technical evaluation will be about $45,000, and this is based on the size and the flow requirements that we would require if we had to move water from one facility to the next. But again, this is to help us with our Verde supplies, if we get those here as part of the raising the dam here in the near future, the next 10 years, but this is slowly getting through that. I don't know if they'll have another project that we'll be able to purchase into to move this water if we don't participate in this one. So kind of keep moving forward with it slowly but surely. This is a technical evaluation. We'll probably have a year or two of design after this, and then construction in probably about 3 or 4 years. So this is just kind of slowly moving through that process. There's no need to approve anything tonight. I was just kind of bringing it back up to show you where we're at. We'll bring the final agreement in front of you here probably in the next month or two, so that we can keep moving forward with this if you guys approve of it.
Okay, that answers my question about the motion. Okay. Discussion and selection of dates and times and locations for budget work sessions, tentative budget adoption, and final budget adoption for fiscal year 2023 and 2024.
Yes, sir. I would like to present to the board tonight our budget work session, our tentative budget and final budget. We're planning on our work session on May 2nd, 2023 at 6 p.m. The tentative budget on May 16th, 2023 at 6 p.m. And then the final budget on June 20th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Here in the Apache Junction City Council Chambers at 300 East Superstition Boulevard, Apache Junction, Arizona 85119. We need a motion to approve these dates because we have to go through all of our public hearings to make sure we do go through the process correctly.
Any questions from the board?
Nope.
Okay. Do I have a motion for the approval of the dates?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that the following dates, times, and locations for fiscal year 2023 to 2024 budget work sessions, tentative budget adoption, and final budget adoption be approved. The special meeting for budget work sessions on Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023 at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers. Regular meeting for adoption of class and compensation and tentative budget on Tuesday, May 16, 2023 at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers. And regular meeting for public hearing and final budget adoption on Tuesday, June 20, 2023 at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Vice Chair Schroeder,
Yes.
Board Member Nesser,
Yes.
Board Member Heck,
Yes.
Board Member Johnson,
Yes.
Board Member Cross,
Yes.
Chairman Wilson,
Yes.
motion passes.
District Manager's Report.
Your Honor, I just wanted to do something tonight. Mike, can we bring back one of the presentations, that picture that has the interconnect that's coming? Just remind me which is flowing, which is uphill, which is downhill, and how engineering works. And then this is just a reminder, I think a good opportunity from the retreat that I couldn't answer very well, that Board Member Cross might bring up, but I'm bringing up tonight, which is the treatment. Is our treatment, so when we get to the point where we can treat Verde River, not just Lake Mead and Lake Powell Cap, you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So
my
maybe
que-
repeat that question so Mike can answer, and then talk to us about the uphill part, how that
Okay.
works.
Well, I can see where the uphill part is.
Yeah.
No, regarding, changing our water treatment capabilities to accommodate the difference in the water from CAP versus water from Verde. My understanding is that we will have to make some improvements to our water treatment facility to accommodate the different makeups. And how bad is that going to be, or how easy is that going to be?
So we're actually planning for some of this already. As part of the next expansion to our plant, we're putting a raw water impound at our facility down there. So this allows us to take water, put it on site, let it slowly move through the system so that some of those particles drop out as part of that. That'll be part of the process. Without that, we can still treat the water. This week, the Alamo Dam, with all the rain here in Arizona, actually filled up. They had to release some of that water, so it created a large amount of turbidity in the CAP canal. So we're seeing roughly 40 to 50 NTU, so that's like chocolate milk water coming through our plant. Typically, CAP water is like a cloudy glass of water, not very dirty at all. But our plant's still able to treat that. It does process it through everything that we go through. But this raw water impound will help us settle some of that out so we can actually take care of that. We'll also, with this facility here, SRP is not going to be able to just put dirty water into the CAP canal. That's part of the requirements of the wheeling agreement that everybody's made. So Scottsdale actually has some facilities out in the West Valley where they want to pump actually clean water into the canal. Tucson is the biggest CAP user in the state, and they're requiring us to almost treat it to drinking water standards before it's put into the canal. SRP can only actually discharge into the canal only certain times of the year because the Salt River is cleaner than the Verde River. So this will also be part of that we'll have to work through that process with Salt River Project and how we deliver water to the CAP canal. So they're going to try keeping it clean. I believe their limit is below 10 NTU. So a lot lower than what they actually see on the Salt River, but they'll have to deliver it during certain times of the year to make sure that happens.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. As you can see here, Bryant was asking me to talk a little bit. This is a CAP canal. Right here is Granite Reef, where the water's flowing over, going down the Salt River currently. Probably about 3 years ago, there is a big 120-inch pipeline that goes under the Salt River. That's where this is popping out of the ground here. So the CAP actually pumps water up to this facility from about, I think it's about a mile or two long pipeline. It's 120 inches. So they had to have people go in there, trucks, vehicles, and go in there and sandblast and redo that pipe. So it actually comes up out of the ground here. So
Elevation change?
I believe it's about 100 feet. So again, it's just pushing it up so we can gravity flow down to the next one. I think the next pump station's at the Gila River, which is further down south from us. So we can actually flow back, as you can see here, through this channel and flow back into one of SRP's south canals. So they have two channels there, one on the north side and then one on the south side. We're looking at putting a pump station here and figuring out putting in probably a 120-inch pipeline, maybe dual 120-inch pipelines to pump this water supply back up to the CAP canal in the future. So that's what we're working through on who needs the large amounts and, you know, what is our little portion of that so that we can pump it in the future or they can pump it for us.
Another question, are you also planning on putting any kind of power generating for the gravity back downhill?
They haven't really looked at that.
Moving water is a wonderful thing.
Yes. The only thing I know on some of the canal systems that they've been looking to is some solar power that could cover some of the canals to save some from evaporation.
Okay.
But hydropower, they haven't looked really into that as far as I'm aware of yet.
Okay. I know over in California, I believe there's several different canals that have small power generators. They try to utilize where they can.
Right.
Well, CAP uses solar power for their power plants, don't they?
Some of it, we
Okay, yeah.
they were in partners with SRP on the Navajo Reservation power plant that was up there that shut down a couple years ago. That was coal powered. They've been slowly switching over to wind and solar power as part of that. But they are, I think, CAP is one of the largest users here in Arizona of electricity just because of how much we have to pump uphill
Yeah.
and then slowly let it drain back downhill.
Yeah. I think they have to pump up 3,300, elevation of 3,300 feet, don't they, to get the water from Lake Havasu up to wherever.
The highest point, then it feeds down into
Point
Tucson.
down,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a lot.
How often do you run water back down into the South Canal?
I don't have a good answer, but I can get back to you on that. I know they do it. It depends upon water demands and what's happening out there. Obviously, today with CAP so low and SRP so full, there's not much water moving through there today.
I was just thinking if it's running down that way, if you put a generator in there, you might be able to help offset the cost of the pump to pump it up the hill.
Sure.
And as part of this evaluation, we'll bring that up to them and see what their plans are for power in this location. We can, they definitely take input as part of this process, and that's why we have to get in at the start of it with technical reviews and the design of it so that we can give them little inputs what you guys would like to see out there. So, okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else for Bryant?
No, sir, thank you.
District Treasurer's report, or excuse me, District Managers, or Director's report. Mike.
So quick system update, to kind of let you guys know where we're at on the 30-inch pipeline in Ironwood. Roughly 17,000 feet of the 18,500 done. They're planning on have it done here by the end of the month. So good news on that. We are still working on the 24-inch. So we got roughly 3,000 feet of that and of the 8,500 feet that they'll be installing out there. Kind of a map showing where we're talking about. This dark blue line is the 30-inch that comes all the way up to the flood control just before our water campus. And we're in the process of boring underneath the flood control channel right here currently today. And then we ran basically north from our water campus all the way up past Elliott, past Guadalupe, and currently they're on the CAP bridge crossing that right now. So roughly only about 500 feet left to get into our treatment plant. This light blue line is the 24-inch. The big push was to get past Salina, which is the half-a-mile alignment of roads here, so they can actually start the construction of this first phase of Ironwood on the west side, building up the road, putting down the AB, and then actually putting in the first 3 lanes, curb, sidewalk, gutter, and all that good stuff. So you guys will start seeing that happen here in the next month or two. Any questions on the pipelines?
Don't see any.
This is the CAP bridge. You guys are familiar with this. This is old Ironwood, where we used to cross on. Here's the new Ironwood bridge up here to the right. And this is what we're crossing on, is utilizing that as our supports as we come across there. Concrete tank, the final pour was done this past week, so we're going to start a leak test on it. So filling this tank all the way up and making sure it does not lose over a 1/4 inch over a 24-hour period. And then we can watch the walls and make sure nothing's leaking before they start backfilling. But as you can see, it doesn't look very big, but it's 4 or 5 flights of stairs to get up to the top of this tank. So pretty big facility, and it'll be our largest storage tank when we're completed with it. A utility billing update. So we had our 3rd pass of data. We just went out today. On our 2nd pass, 95% of our data converted, which is very good. We also started our campaign on April 1st. We sent out our first postcards to all of our customers. So it's kind of unique. We thought we'd send them to within all the bills, but today people don't receive their bills in the mail anymore. They get them email, they get them text, they get them different ways. So the best way we thought that we'd get somebody's attention was a nice fancy postcard with an image on it so that you could see, hey, something's going on here, rather than just stuffing in a bill and somebody just looks at their dollar amount and doesn't pay attention to what's in the back of it. So we've reached out to all of our customers. We've got some phone calls in already. If you guys get asked questions, we're in the process of this. No, they do not have a new account number today, but they will in the future. So we're working through that process. But we just want to let them know something's happening out there. We're going to have it on our webpage. We will have other opportunities for them in the future to come out and actually show them how to sign up for a new account, do different things on there. So exciting times coming, but slowly over the next month, we'll keep releasing little bits at a time.
Here. Excuse me. Mike, question. Do people have the option of getting a paper bill if they want it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to have all kinds of options with this next utility billing where you could, like I was saying, paper bill, if you email, if you want it delivered here for 6 months a year, and then up in where you go back to, you can get delivered back home. There'll be plenty of options that this will automatically do for us rather than a manual process that they have to call in for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Any other questions? That's all I had for tonight. Thank you.
thank you. District Treasurer's report. Okay. Well, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.